Hello and welcome to episode 33 of Need Miracle Sports and Gambling Podcast with your host Tracy
and Josh.
Miracle. Today we'll be covering Wild Card Weekend of the NFL.
Sorry for the technical difficulties we were having.
I don't know if anyone saw it, but we were live and we got our tripod set up and both the phones / cameras fell. So it was a little bit of a process, 5-minute process to get them to stay, but it looks like they're good now.
So for you guys tuning in, you guys that are new, make sure you follow, subscribe, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Anchor app, like, subscribe, share. We appreciate that. We're going to be bringing you the wild card round of the playoffs. That's going to be sponsored by Auto Wash, Car Wash out of Canandaigua, New York. Showing some love from the 585. Your car is dirty, muddy, there's salt on it. You know where to take it. Let's start it off. Saturday, 1 o'clock game. You wanna do the intro to this game here? You feeling it?
I mean, Bills are, I believe we got it at -6, correct?
7.
7 now?
7.
Okay. Yeah, Colts at Bills. The spread.
At where?
At Buffalo.
In Buffalo.
In Buffalo.
You're supposed to be a Buffalo fan. There's no hype in them. This is a bad sign. I'm telling you, it's a bad sign.
I'll tell you why there's no hype in me, because I'm nervous. We haven't had a playoff win in ions, it seems like, but.
Well, you want to know what? You want to know what's going to be the worst thing for the Bills? Allowing fans in the stadium. And you want to know why?
People say that, and you're going to say something stupid about Josh Allen.
I'm not going to say anything. It's not stupid about Josh Allen. I mean, the dude literally changed what he listens to before the games because he said he gets too hyped. That's out of his mouth.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to rap, rock, anything. He listens to Frank Sinatra now.
I'm worried about him getting too hyped, but I don't think 6,700 fans are going to do that, and especially when they're probably being quiet on offense anyway, like they're supposed to be. I really don't think that makes a big difference. But my look at this game, I think it's going to be more competitive than people think. I do believe that, especially early on. The Colts running attack is a huge advantage for them. They got that big, meaty offensive line. Quentin Nelson probably.
He's the best offensive lineman in the league, hands down.
It's one of those things. If not,
you can get the guy a gold jacket right now.
Yeah, just dominant player. Costanzo's out, which is a tackle, so that's kind of good. I mean, he's been out for a while, but still, helps out. But Philip Rivers just doesn't impress me. I think the Bills just use that. We're gonna stack the box, and we're gonna have that duck arm try to beat us, and I think it'll work. I think Josh Allen goes out and attacks this zone. Rocky Sin was just downgraded out. I mean, please, again, just go fucking 4 wide with Knox out there, 3 wide, whatever you want to call it, and just absolutely annihilate another secondary like we have been the last 3, 4, 5 weeks.
Well, that could very well work for you here because over the last month, the Colts secondary has been torched. I mean, they've absolutely been torched over the last month.
Yeah.
And I mean, part of that has to do with Buckner being out a couple of games there. For me too, I think it's going to be very easy for Josh to move around. He's going to get some pressure up front in his face from the D tackles, but I mean, they don't have any DNs really to contain or rush. There's going to be no pressure coming from there. Not to cut you off just while you were on the topic.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, I honestly see this game, which is perfect. I had it at -6.5, I thought, but you said 7, which we'll use. I have it as a 28-20 game. I think it's just, like I said, it's close in the beginning. A little feeling out process may happen.
Who do you have scoring 20?
The Colts.
That's good because I actually have, for another little bet in this game, the Colts under 21.5. That's what the team score is right now. I love them for under 21.5.
Yeah, and like I said, not the only, but pretty much the only thing that the Colts can really use in this game to their advantage is that run game. And if Jonathan Taylor goes off, then they're having the ball, they're possessing the ball, and that's not good for that Bills offense, or obviously for the defense because they're getting tired. But I just think that McDermott's going to coach it up, Frazier's going to coach it up. They're going to be ready for that, and I think that's really all the Colts have. Yeah, a couple of deep threats here with Pascal and Hilton. And a pretty good route runner, Michael Pittman Jr. I respect them. 2 good tight ends. I respect them. I just think that the level the Bills have been playing at right now is they're just a better team. And I think as the game goes on, like I said, close in the beginning, and then it gets a little, the Bills pull away. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, for me, I got it right here. So about the same as you. Rivers, question mark. He's going to be playing in cold weather. I know the weather's going to be pretty decent for the game, but you're still playing in 30-degree weather. You're almost 40 years old. Who knows how his body holds up? You mentioned it before. Costanzo's out. The other tackle, he's good. He's not great. I feel like that might be an advantage for the Bills here. But what really is going to come into play, and I think you guys are going to see, you guys that watch Bills games every week, you're going to see a lot more base defense in this game. The reason being, the Colts run a lot of 2 and 3 tight end sets.
Yeah.
They want to use that big offensive line to mow you down.
Mo Ali Cox is a tight end.
Yep, Ali Cox, Doyle.
Jack Doyle is her name.
Yep, Jack Doyle, and the third one, I can't think. Oh, Burton.
Yeah.
Burton's like a wide receiver. But they're really going to look to mow you down and just run the ball with Taylor and keep that offense off the field. For me, can the Bills stop Taylor in the offensive line? Can Ed Oliver be either quick enough to the inside to get that first move to fill the gap and shut it down right there? Do they have enough size to even stop this?
Yeah, I was just gonna after you were done. I'll just interrupt real quick. That was right where I was going too. That the defensive line for the Bills is small. That's a huge concern. They like you said, they got to be quicker and get to the ball and Bob mentality.
Yeah, have to be. You got anything back there, Jake? I saw you looking.
Yes, Uncle John said it is too late to wear the helmet. The damage is already done.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of damage in my head. There's no lying about that. But another thing, real quick, Hammer Down podcast that I don't really think I've talked about a lot since we've been going live and doing the Facebook and YouTube stuff. They were talking about Michael Lombardi, who used to be a GM for like the Browns, Raiders, a couple other teams he worked for. He has 2 sons that coaching NFL, and he was just like talking about playoff football, how it comes just scenario city. Like each play matters. And honestly, he said 3rd down and 2, 3rd down 3, 3rd down and 4. Those are your huge plays you got to be successful on. It's a big check the box for the Bills. And early in games, you got to go out and get that first score. And the Bills have been doing that terrifically of late. So that's a huge check mark. So yeah, another thing too, just real quick. Pittsburgh, they got killed in that first half against Indy a few weeks ago, and then they started running a lot of crossing routes against them. I think the Bills can really pick up on that and use that a ton because Indy was dropping back in his zone. Like I said, That's just another thing of just Josh Allen picking apart the secondary. Hopefully, that mistake doesn't come, which it really hasn't. I mean, I don't know, it's just crazy watching him this year. The accuracy, the decision making is so much better, and even when maybe he doesn't make the greatest decision, he just says, Roger Clemens or Nolan Ryan, my fastball is better than anyone's, and I'm going to prove it, and he makes those throws too. So. Yeah,
for me, really, I got 2 key matchups that I think need to be watched in this game. And the first one's going to be on the offensive line for the Bills and the defensive line for the Colts. You're going to see these 2 matched up against each other quite a bit. Buckner and Feliciano. I think both I think both are a little dinged up right now. Buckner's just coming back from injury. He's still, so-so. Feliciano was listed this week. I know he practiced both days in full. But that's going to be a huge matchup. Who can win that battle? And sort of, if they can slow Buckner down, there's not really much. This is a very good defense, don't get me wrong, but there's not much. Buckner is the motor of this defense. So his pressure, moving the quarterback off the marks, really helps that secondary in the back end. This is not a great secondary. They're just playing well as a unit. I mean, because my next matchup jumps right into that. It's Rhodes versus Diggs, 2 Minnesota guys. They're on different teams, different scenery. Both in the playoffs. They're probably looking back laughing right now. But these are 2 guys that know each other very well. They were in the league. Yeah, they were in the league for years together in Minnesota, practicing against each other every day. And, Rhodes was a guy who looked like his career was done pretty much. He was cut, let go from Minnesota, and now he's in a playoff game playing on one of the top defenses in the league. And then Diggs, another guy that everyone, marked not off, but wrote him off as a prima donna, drama, stuff like that. And he's leading the league in receptions right now. So that's the big matchup for me. I think Diggs can win that matchup, and I think the Buckner-Feliciano matchup is a toss-up. I think, you're going to see a give and take from both of them a lot.
The Bills' O-line has been playing terrifically.
Yeah, they have been playing good, but I also don't think of late have they played the talent of that defensive line across. And when I say that talent, they are only very, very talented on the inside of that defense line, the interior line, which I think is what could be the issue because the Bills, Feliciano, yes, a stud. I would say he's a poor man's Quentin Nelson. First guy in a pile usually. If he's not the first guy, he's sure as shit charging in. Nelson's the same way. They play with a grit. They play with an attitude. They really are the anchors of their lines. But for me, the question mark is going to be Morse and Bucker. Isn't it Bucker?
Bucker scares me.
Yeah, that's going to be your question mark right there. And with Indy being so dominant in the middle of that defense, what is going to save the Bills, I think, in a lot of aspects is Indy doesn't like the blitz. And, maybe they change that up and they dial it up. I heard Leonard's pissed off for whatever reason. Maybe they dial up some blitzes here.
About what?
I guess he's pissed off at the Bills. That's what I heard. I didn't get to hear the reasoning behind it. That's just something I got off of the radio I was listening to
You're gonna
today.
be pissed off playing golf next week.
But, there's going to be a lot of football and good football in this game played. For me, I think it might come down to the X's and O's. Frank Wright is a very good coach. Sean McDermott's a very good coach. I just think Sean maybe holds his guys to a little bit higher standard, and he might have the better horses. That's why for me, I'm taking the Bills -7.
Yeah, and one last thing real quick. I know we've been talking about this game for a while, but obviously with such less games, we have more time to talk about each one in depth. The Beasley and the Diggs, injury concern. Diggs was out there dancing today. It's Can't Touch Us by MC Hammer, having fun. So, he said he's fine. I'm pretty sure he'll play. Beasley is probably pretty much doubtful, I would assume. But, as long as Diggs is out there and at least 80% healthy, I don't think the injury report really changes anything.
Well, are you not going to talk about who's coming back, though, either? He's going to be back healthy, fully.
Who?
John Brown. That sort of makes up for Beasley a little bit. Obviously, it's not Beasley, you know what I mean, but it does sort of help. I think Gabe Davis is a guy to really watch in this matchup. If I'm not, Stowe's going to play, is he?
I don't know.
I thought he was on the practice.
That's a Saturday decision, to be honest, but
Yeah,
I assume he's healthy.
Last time he was on the practice squad, so I didn't want to go and say he was going to play because I don't know how much of the playbook he knows or what he knows.
Yeah, he won't play 50. He won't play 50 plays, obviously, but he'll play,
Right.
5 or 3.
But I think Gabe Davis is the guy to keep an eye on this game. For me, he's going to have to be the game changer. Especially if he's not matched up on Rhodes. There's not much height on this defense after Rhodes, if I'm not mistaken, from in the secondary. I think they're all like 5'11" guys, really, you know what I mean? The safeties for the Colts don't really scare me at all. I think you should be able to take the top off them and really open up your game. But like I said, the Bills -7, that's my pick. I'm willing to bet you're taking that as well.
Yeah, I already said that, yeah.
Lock it in.
It's not my lock of the week, but I do think it's going to be competitive, but I think the Bills will 100% win the game.
So, let's hop into the next one here. The 4:40 game. The Rams versus the Seahawks. Seattle's -3 at home. For me, is Goff playing?
I don't think so.
I don't think Goff's playing either. And for me, I just don't feel the Rams are a team that can match point for point with Seattle without Goff. Yes, we all know Seattle does not have a great defense. They have not been playing well. They're without Jamal Adams. But this is why Russ Wilson gets paid. These are the games he wins. He shows heroics in. He somehow manages to rally the troops. I'm not betting against Seattle in this game. I'm taking Seattle -3 points. And it's not so much that I trust the defense. It's not that I think the Rams are going to drop a goose egg. It's just simply that I think Russ Wilson is arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And there's a reason they don't have a defense because they trust him to outscore the other team. What do you got, Jake?
Brick Vitale said, "Look at this idiot."
That's your boy right there.
Well, guess what? Your team's sitting at fucking home. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, I agree. No Goff for the Rams really hurt this offense. The defense, however, will keep them in the game. I do believe that. I'm taking the Seahawks, just so you guys know. But it's just going to be a little bit of an odd game because I don't think the Seahawks are going to kill them because, you got Darnold, you got Ramsey on either
Donald, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You're just proving the point.
I haven't thought about that today when I was taking my notes and wrote Donald. And I was like, I gotta say Donald, not Darnold, and I still did it, so it's just in my head. But him, and then the Metcalf-Ramsey matchup, or the Ramsey Lockett, that's also pretty good for them, you know what I mean? But like I said, I just think that Seattle is going to kind of like the similar to the Bills game, just build a lead up, build a lead up, build a lead up. Because Wolford, John Wolford, I believe that's his name, the quarterback for the Rams, who we do expect to play, and even if Goff is in there, he's not going to be 100%. But I just think that last week they had that crazy pick six against the Cardinals defense, who's not that great. The offense didn't score, is what I'm trying to say. Really no positive numbers from that offense at all. Just kind of pedestrian. Woods made a few plays. I mean, those guys are going to get open. They're going to make plays. But I just don't see the 20-yard, the red zone area to 30-yard line turning into 7. I think it's going to be 3, if that. You never know. Field goals are so unreliable now in the NFL. I just think the Seahawks win this game. It's certainly nothing to do with their defense at all. That's for sure.
Question, when you were looking at the line on this game, I literally just looked, and I'm pretty sure I'm about spot on. But did you see the over-under for this game? I want to say it was like 41 or 42, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I said. They think that the Rams defense is very good, and the Seahawks are going to sputter a little bit, and the Rams are just undermanned and not going to score.
Well,
that's why it's so low.
Honestly, I think the under is going to be good. I went back and looked the first 2 times these guys played, they split. If I'm not mistaken, I think Seattle won, it was 20-6, and when the Rams won, it was 20-9 or vice versa or something like that.
And that brings up another thing real quick. These teams know each other. So
yeah, they split already this year. Played 2 games. It's the 3rd game. I expect to see, even though Seattle doesn't have a good defense, I expect to see a solid game plan. I mean, Pete Carroll is a good coach. He's a decent coach. I mean, people are going to say what they're going to say about him not running the ball on the goal line in that Super Bowl with Marshawn Lynch still, but at the end of the day, I mean, he gets paid, just like McVay and his guys get paid. There's going to be 2 great game plans in. I can see this game, honestly, going into halftime about a 7-7 game, 7-10 game. And I don't know how much scoring we see after that with the adjustments made. It's probably going to be right there. I'm expecting like a 14-20 type game, you know what I mean? I could be completely wrong, but I definitely think Seattle's going to pull it out minus the 3.
Yeah, speaking of Pete Carroll, I'm pretty sure I saw a stat in his era there with the Seahawks, which has been a while now. It's kind of crazy. I remember him when I was real little at USC, but 5-0 at home with him in the playoffs. Another thing, and I don't know if you got anything else to add, but this is my last thing in this game. Seahawks bettors, if you're with us on our side, the thing you're going to be scared to death about is, like I said, that defensive line getting after Russ. The offensive line isn't the best for Seattle, we know that, but like I said, I think they're just kind of will their way to points here, and the Rams won't score. And then also turnovers. So you don't want Russ, turn the ball over, or you don't want fumbles, because that's the only way I think the Rams will score, and you don't want to provide them with any points.
Right. Also, I'd parlay the Bills and them together.
Yeah. I like, honestly, I don't think you're that crazy to, I know one of our buddies put on Twitter that he was thinking about doing a teaser, and it made me realize how strong these favorites are.
Yeah.
And we'll get into other games, but I like the favorites, and then I like one underdog, and that's, we'll get into it later, like I said. But,
all right.
yeah.
Let's hop into this right now. This 8:15 game, my game. Washington football team at home versus Tampa Bay. Tom Brady. Mike Evans is out, correct?
Yeah.
Mike Evans is out. That's huge.
I believe. He could play.
He
but
could play.
He didn't practice this weekend.
Yeah, so I mean, it's still up in the air. Washington's getting 8 points, though. For me, with no Mike Evans, I'm going to take Washington plus the 8 points. No, I am not saying they're going to win the game, as much as I hope they do. But I'm going to take them plus the 8 on this bet, on this show, on this podcast. For me, you got 2 very good defenses. One's been trending up, though, and the other's been trending down. Tampa Bay's defense, about halfway through the season, they sort of started to plummet. Well, Washington's defense has been doing nothing, but I feel like their stock's been rising.
Is Washington rotating quarterbacks?
What do you mean?
I swear, I heard on Hammer Down. I don't know if the guy was kidding. I was kind of listening. I was making food, but he said that the Washington football team could be rotating quarterbacks.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't like rotating quarterbacks, but I wouldn't mind seeing Heineke in this game. I said it, last week. I really liked what I saw from him. The couple minutes he came in at the end of the game there in week 16, I liked what I saw. He was moving the ball well. I don't have an exact answer for you on that. I didn't hear that. It could be possible. They could just be cracking a joke trying to say, like, Alex Smith can't do it, which is my biggest question mark on this game. It really is Alex Smith. And
It has to be.
And not that I think that he's incapable. It's just how much can that leg really take? Against Philly, we saw him take a cheap shot. That could have caused an issue. See a little bit there. He wins pretty good. The man's not playing with a full calf. And you see it on his throws.
Yeah.
If you watch him,
they highlighted it.
yeah. If you
100
watch him, he's throwing a lot of checkdowns, a lot of crossers. He's not trying to push the ball downfield. He's not even trying to put weight on that back foot, which makes me very nervous. And that's part of the reason, as a fan, as someone betting on that team, I would like to see maybe Heineke play if he can't do it.
Well, and we talk about someone who has injuries and is a little bit older. Obviously, a completely different situation. They can't move the ball down the field, and his struggles early on in the season is Drew Brees.
Tyler Hillman said, yeah, Ron Rivera said they plan on rotating quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I guess he wants to blow the playoff game.
I mean, maybe it's a good idea. Throw different shit at the team. But I don't mean to break your achy-breaky little heart over there, but this is my Stone Cold 316 lock of the week. I'm taking the Bucs. I just think the Bucs are a much better team. They have the greatest postseason quarterback of all time. They just have skilled players everywhere. As we said earlier, maybe Evans is not likely, but Jones, Fournette, Brown, Gronk, Godwin, just talent all over the field. Concerned about Alex Smith and his health, as they said. So I don't know. If you're rotating quarterbacks, he can't be 100%, obviously, and he's not. So I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know if he gets hurt. Are they rotating? Obviously, they're rotating, but it just kind of seems very, very weird. Like you said, almost like it's just, I don't know. It's weird, and receivers got to get used to timing with that, and it just.
Yeah, I don't understand that in a playoff game. I almost really just want to beat Ron Rivera's ass.
Yeah, your signals are all. I mean, different quarterbacks have different signals with the O line, and it just, I don't know. It's weird, but also. Great player. Seems like a good kid. He's really funny on Mic'd Up. But coming from me, a drunk bastard, probably at least 10 times in my life, running into New Era Field or Ralph Wilson Stadium, whatever you want to call it, talking shit about Tom Brady and how bad he is. Chase Young, wouldn't advise it.
Well, that's the difference between you and Chase Young. You're a drunk idiot that's sitting in the bleachers. He's a fucking animal playing on the football field that can make a difference.
And I swear I have this in my notes. I know he would say and stand up for Chase Young and say it's a good idea. It's just not.
You want to know why it's a good idea? Because he's going to bring that fucking heat. All right? He's going to have this defense hitting on all fucking 40 cylinders.
Jake, excuse me.
All 40 cylinders.
Jake, you're a third party.
Chase Young,
you say they're not going to win?
Chase Young and Montez Sweat are coming for that bitch-ass Tom Brady. Just because you don't have to deal with that anymore, and I got to deal with them now, all right? We're going to actually take care of him. All right? That's what we're going to do. You know why? Because that offensive line is not very fucking good, all right? And they're about to play the best defensive line they played all year. They're about to play a team that's coming in hitting on all cylinders. Grand slams or nothing. All right? That's what they need to understand. We're a team that has no tomorrow. We're a team with nothing to lose. They're a team with everything to lose. With Brady's postseason career on the line. All right? That's what you need to understand right now.
I don't think with this dude, he's like a Kobe Bryant, dude. He probably has that quote, under his left or his right wrist.
Lift that up a little bit. His dick might fit better. Right.
Listen, you can call it dick
there.
right.
You go.
It's just the truth.
I didn't call it dick right. I just wanted to know how long you've been watching his cock in that thing.
I was on the bad side of it for 20 years. It's just the truth. It's just stupidity to call out Tom Brady. It just is.
Chase Young is going to have this defense fired
up. You said earlier that they weren't going to win the game.
And they might not win the game, but they're going to cover this 8. And I'm telling you right now, this defense is going to be fired up. They are going to be after his ass.
Okay. And in some sensical talk, I believe that this could be a 38-10 type score. That's my score prediction for this game. I just think it's going to get bad early, and I just don't think Washington's going to have much offense because obviously they're rotating court. I mean, that's just crazy. But anyway, the only thing that I could see, and I've been trying to look at games from the other side of how they're going to stay in it, it's kind of the same way with the Colts. If Gibson goes off and McKissick can catch some balls out of the backfield and make some huge plays, but other than that, I think this is a dead duck.
What do you got, Jake?
Tyler Hillman said Tampa by 20 plus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we all know Hillman does suck Brady out too, so That doesn't count. I'm not listening to that shit around here. Nope. Done. Donezo. I'll tell you what, that offensive line for Tampa Bay is not very good. If that motherfucker holds onto the ball for more than 2.5 seconds,
He won't, though.
he's
It's not
done.
Brady. He never
He
does.
is done. Done. He lost last year in the playoffs in the first round to a team that a lot of people thought shouldn't have been there, just like they're down my team.
Derrick Henry just.
Jake, no one asked you. You look like Derrick Henry ran you over on the way here. Yeah, cover up that hole because you knew I was about to say something. You got anything else you want to spout off at the moment?
Listen,
you know,
you can yell and get mad.
That's
It's just
fine, 'cause-
it's just my opinion.
that's fine. I'm okay with your opinion.
Okay.
That offensive line, like I said, is not very good. I'm very nervous about this game, so I'm gonna talk a lot
You
of
don't
shit.
need to be nervous because
I'm gonna talk a lot of shit, and I'm gonna keep myself hyped. All right.
Listen, you guys made it to where you wanted to go.
Listen,
Now
you
go
better-
out and get a quarterback next year and just take this loss like a man.
You better hope I don't pop up to your house after they lose.
We're gonna be here watching it together.
No, you're not. You're not hanging out the whole day. I said you can watch the 1 o'clock game. I'm not watching nothing with you because I really might have to beat your ass after.
We watched the Eagles game. That was good luck for you. They beat
It was
the Eagles.
not good luck for me.
Alright, let's move on. This isn't gonna go.
No,
gonna
not gonna end. All right, on to the next one here, starting Sunday.
Nice password. 0000.
Baltimore versus Tennessee. Tennessee is +3 here at home. This game is very tough. I don't even have it picked yet, so I'm just gonna go off the fly here, on the fly, however you want to call it.
There's not much flying up around there.
Baltimore is a very, very hot team right now.
The hotter of the two teams.
I'm gonna give them that 100%. You're gonna see a big running matchup in this game. I don't think there's gonna be a whole bunch of points scored. I think Baltimore matches up very well with Tennessee. I think they can bring a lot of pressure at Tannehill, and I think they can shut down Henry in the backfield. Despite all that, I like Tennessee in this game. +3, I like Tennessee at home. I think they're gonna feed Derrick Henry and keep it as close as they
You
can.
got it at 3.
I got it at 3. And as I said before, you know, Baltimore, they love to bring pressure. They love to put guys up on the line. You know, if they miss this guy in the backfield, they're not pulling him down for another 10, 15 yards. So, I mean, live by it, die by it. I think Tannehill can move and extend plays in this game. And I think Jonnu Smith is going to play a factor in this game.
Yeah. As we thought a couple weeks back, maybe 4 or 5 now, the season's been flying by. But we talked about the Browns and Titans game as kind of like an old school run the ball, you know, bring your shoulder pads, make sure they're laced up type game. This is going to be the same type of game. It's going to be a dogfight, something that you didn't touch on that I will. The last time they played, the Derrick Henry OT winner, that big run he had against the Ravens, it was a very close game, very good game. Coaches going at it before the game, dancing on each other, dancing on the logo type shit. So these teams obviously do not like each other. I am taking the Titans too. I just have to take the score game, the one-score game, because I feel like it's going to come down to the last play of this game. Somehow, some way, I really do. It's just going to be a dogfight. That's all I can really say. Lamar has been playing well as of late, but again, you know, who has it been against? Other than Cleveland, where they had that good game and won, they haven't really beaten anyone.
When they beat up on Cincy last week.
Yeah, any cachet.
Yeah.
And, you know, Tennessee, even though it looked shaky against Houston, you know, Houston was an emotional team with that J.J. Watt speech.
I mean, Houston, yeah, they obviously underperformed this year, but that Houston team, that schedule was tough.
Yeah.
That schedule was real. You played Tennessee twice, Indy, you know, you played Kansas City to start the year. That was not an easy schedule by any means.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be like a low-scoring game too, because like the Ravens the Ravens corners against Davis and Brown, I think that's a good matchup. You know what I mean? You got Calais Campbell out there, stopping the runs, back and against Henry, and I just think the other way it's kind of the same way. So like I said, I just gotta basically. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen in this game.
Yeah,
I really don't.
That's why I took the points.
No one does. Yeah, just take the points and hope.
I hear you. You're good on that game?
Yeah.
On to the 440 game. The line on this game to me is pretty big. Bears versus the Saints in New Orleans. Saints are -9.5. This is a good defense against a good offense, a great defense against a mediocre offense. And, you know, after last week, I'm taking the Saints, minus the 9.5. Give them the points. I think that Drew Brees is going to do what he does. Every time he sits right before the playoffs, he goes off and eats. Kamara, you know, healthy, going strong. And is Michael Thomas going to be back?
I'm not sure.
Not sure if Thomas is going to be back. I don't think they really need him in this game.
No, it's Kamara and Murray.
Yeah. And I mean, the Saints minus 9.5. It's not my lock of the week, but I do like it a lot. I think that Brees in the playoffs, the man just don't lose in the first round.
Yeah, and not to rub salt in your wound, but just like the Washington football team kind of made their run, got in, I just think that's where this story ends. You know, the Bears played well down the stretch. Did not like their game last week at all against the Packers defense that's, you know, pretty decent. That offense kind of went downhill a little bit, playing up in competition. They kind of showed their regression and kind of went back to the way it was with Foles there and just didn't really do too much, in my opinion. And now they're playing a better defense in the Saints. You got Cam Jordan, you got Lattimore. It's going to be tough for them to score points. And I think Brees is just going to sit back, hand the ball off. Veteran quarterback, like you said, won a lot in the playoffs. And I don't know. I just see it being a rout.
Yeah, watch for Jared Cook in this game too.
Yeah.
I think when you've been watching the Bears, whenever they sneak a tight end in behind them backers, they've been getting killed.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a reason the spread is so big.
Yeah.
You know, and
I agree. I mean, the Saints are hot. The Bears, I mean, they're just sort of like a speed bump in the road is how I feel.
yeah.
They're going to hit that bitch doing 50, be like, oh shit, and keep it going.
Yeah, and like I said, the Saints defense is good, so it's not like, you know, you're giving Mitch a chance to
No,
make big
yeah,
plays.
I don't think Cam Jordan's going to give him a chance to do anything. He's going to be in his face all game right from the opening whistle, and that's just going to be
They
how
got
it
good
goes.
linebackers to stop the run. And, yeah.
Lattimore on the back end takes away Robinson. I think you're good in that game. On to the 8:15 game here. This is a game I'm sure Buffalo fans are going to be watching. Determines a lot. You know, if you guys win on Saturday, this will be the game you're watching here. Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh at home is -6. This is my lock of the week. Lock it up. Put the money in there. You're going to get it back. I'm taking Pittsburgh -6. Cleveland, I would be with them, but losing Stefanski is huge. You know, they're missing, 3 coaches total, 2 players. Is everyone back off of COVID from the week before now? Or they're still missing a couple guys, right?
See, I don't know. I think a couple actually tested positive, but others were just on that
Yeah.
list. So I know Teller's back, which is big for their offense.
Yeah, that's huge. I really don't see them staying in this game without Stefanski there. You know what I mean? That's just like cutting the head off a dragon. Cutting the head off a snake? It falls. If a dragon, it falls. I mean, I like Pittsburgh -6. Big Ben got a week to rest his arm. You know, you probably see a better play from him. TJ Watt had a week off. I think that's huge. You give a guy like that rest that already plays every down with everything he has. Now you give him a week of rest too to come back. Not to mention Cleveland barely beat this team when they sat guys and were down players. You know what I mean? So I'm taking Pittsburgh -6, just common sense.
You know, and I know you're gonna get mad at me for this, and you're probably gonna come back with a pretty good attack. But this is why I just feel like I'm the owner right now, and I'm just walking a little newborn poodle. It's looking around, doesn't really know what's going on because I called it earlier in the year. I believe it was like the Colts or someone had COVID, and you were like, oh my God, they can't practice, and I was like, it's all virtual, it's fine.
They're missing their coaches though in the game.
Yeah, look,
In the game.
it's a sick pick, people. The Browns will cover this game. They're getting their O-line back. They still have Chubb, and they still have Hunt, who are their catalysts. They'll be fine. Pittsburgh might win the game. It's going to be close, but there's no way this score is a touchdown game. It's going to end very, very close. What are you going to get on a Big Ben? You never know. Some days, I guess they were making plays up in the dirt 2 weeks ago, and he lit it up. But other than that, you can't trust these receivers.
You can't trust Cleveland secondary either.
You can't trust these receivers. They could beat them and then they could drop it. You never know. And this run game is just nowhere to be found. So I just love Cleveland in this game with the 6. I think it's too big of a spread. I think the COVID years are crazy here with the bettors, and I think it's going to be a close game.
for you guys too that are watching, I want you guys to check out the YouTube channel a little later. We'll make sure we get that video up, or the Facebook page of Tracy and how much he loves the Cleveland Browns from when we were at the Bills game. If he wants to tell you the story, you know, he can. But we'll definitely get that uploaded about Tracy's antics with the Browns fans, how much he loves them.
I was chugging out of a dildo. It was awesome.
Out of a dildo, Tracy was chugging beers out of it with Browns fans. That's how much he loves the Browns, enough to suck them off.
They tasted damn
That's
good.
exactly what he was doing.
Those beers went down good.
And that's what he's doing on this show too. Do not let him lead you down that path.
It's a simple bet, the +6.
Tracy, who are you
Jake?
taking on that?
Me?
Yeah. Jacob on that.
It's gonna be a close game. So I think that Baker Mayfield's gonna have a really good game. I just have a feeling he's on that cycle where he's getting back up to the part where he just plays really well. I think he's gonna throw for like 400 yards, and the Browns are gonna lose, but by 2 points.
Jay, come out here real quick, because we're pretty much done with the picks. Come out here.
He's also 15 and wears a toupee, so I don't want to hear anything he has to say anymore.
Yeah, this is our, here's.
This is the guy behind the camera.
Yeah, our little brother plays football at Notre Dame in Batavia, old lineman. Hopefully goes to the real Notre Dame in about 4 years. Not that this one isn't real, but the one that everyone knows about, I need to say. And then wearing a Bills uniform in about 8. Right, Jake?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I mean that about wraps it up. You got any other news in the betting world?
How about the Knicks?
5-3, our favorite team. Even though he used to follow around Melo, but he came back to the Knicks now finally. So he's kind of like not a fair weather fan, maybe whatever the comment right above that is. But I've been since David Lee.
Bargnani.
Bachman,
What do you got,
Marbury,
Jake?
Steve Francis.
Christopher Ferris said, Tracy, what the F do you have on your head?
Oh, this
You
is,
really are something special, but
That
go
is-
Steelers.
You gotta wear that.
Hey Ferris, this little logo right here on the side of my helmet, it's a team that beat your team's ass 2 years in a row, so that's what that is. Anyway, yeah, I've been a huge Knicks fan, and the last like 4 or 5 years, whatever it's been since like Melo left and those teams, it's just been dismal. Like the crowd's been all over them, and I think that's huge.
And so, yeah, some people think that's why they're doing good right now, because they don't have the crowd.
They can go out and fucking play. RJ Barrett's a good player, and Julius Randle, I don't know. He's like,
You hate him, so don't even sit up here and try to say
no,
something else now.
I do hate him, but he's like LeBron James's third cousin, like janitor in middle school, kind of talent. Like that's what he's doing out there right now. I don't know what the hell. He's just getting assists, getting points, rebounds, playing well. But that's what he reminds me of, like LeBron James' third cousin, who's a janitor.
Yep, whatever you say.
But no, but seriously, it's great to see. They're competing hard under Thibodeau, and you know it's great. I don't think it's gonna last, so I'm kind of waiting for the game where they get beat by about 35. But like I said, they've been playing well.
You wanna let them cameras know about what a real team from New York did today?
Oh.
About a real team,
The Mets.
Oh, the Mets got Francisco Lindor.
That's right. That's huge.
He'll get you 30 more wins.
It's huge. For you guys that bet a lot on basketball too, Orlando's been hot. Just so you guys know, they just lost Markelle Fultz.
Towards ACL.
Towards ACL, he's done for the year. That's going to be huge. Make sure if you're betting Orlando, you're watching them lines. They are going to change. They are going to start to move. You're going to see a much different team. I think he's the centerpiece of that team, and without him, who knows how they're going to look. But make sure you're paying attention to that. Well, we got you guys too.
Go ahead.
Fuck Ohio State. If you bet Ohio State in this national championship game, you deserve to lose your money. They are not going to be able to compete with Bama.
Yeah, and the other thing I got is I put on YouTube, and I think you guys will like it because it shows like the actual side that we do, put some money on this, and we really are invested in watching our TVs. I had a Syracuse bet against Pittsburgh.
Help me, you'll like this one.
Under 22.5. It was 121 points with 5 seconds left. Syracuse has the ball, and they were down 1. So all I needed to do, inbound the ball, dribble, do their play, and miss. So that was my hope. I'm like, you know what? I still got a fucking shot at this. So of course, Syracuse throws the ball in, loses it. Pittsburgh steals it. I'm like, don't foul, don't foul. 2.5 left, they foul. Guy goes down, rims one on a free throw, rolls around, in. Second one, I'm like, missed on purpose, so I still got a chance. At 122, I still got a chance. He hits it, and there goes the money right there. And it was heartbreaking. I put it on YouTube, and I think we're gonna start doing more of that, more like of us actually, betting and content side of things.
Just to give you guys a heads up reminder, as you saw when Jake was out here, we got the hoodies, merchandise in, black and gold for the guys, pink and gold for the girls. I mean, I think the pink and gold looks dope too. I'd rock it. Hoodies $35, unless you're anything over a 2XL, it's extra $5. That goes for all the shirts. Sweaters, pullovers $35, t-shirts $25, long sleeve tees $30. We got snapbacks for $25. We got baseball caps for $20. I know quite a few people already reached out. We got a decent order going in. If you guys want to get on this and get the merch when it's first coming out, get a hold of me or Tracy before Friday. Yeah, before tomorrow night.
Tomorrow is gonna be, we're gonna put all the money in and send it where we gotta send it and do all that. So it'd be great if you can get the money in by then. If not, obviously,
we'll be taking orders. Yeah, we'll be taking orders forever. Just if you want to get in on the first order, and you guys don't want to wait, probably gonna be about a 2-week wait before we can get them back. So we're gonna get it in tomorrow. So if you guys want to hop on that, make sure you get a hold of us. What do you got, Jake?
Nothing back here.
Stop looking at me like that. Stop smiling at me. It's weird.
I'm not smiling at you.
He's always licking his lips, smiling at us, dude. It's disturbing.
But I think that's gonna wrap it up. We pretty much
We got
what we had to do.
we got nothing. This weekend. Go Bills. Go Washington. I mean, I really hope they pull one out. I don't like this 2 quarterback system bullshit I'm hearing about now. I mean, I should have been on top of that, but I don't know what happened.
But thank you for listening. As always, this has been your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast. Thank you and have a good night.